Hiya and welcome back to the Bake Wellbeing Kitchen. My name's Ella and I'm the founder and director of Bake Wellbeing. And today I'm going to show you how to make Millionaire Shortbreads. This is a perfect bake for your tea and talk because it's got your layer of biscuit and sweetened by a soft layer of caramel and covered with chocolate. What more could you want? With this bake you'll be making your own shortbread and your own caramel. So it's a perfect challenge if you're bored of making sponge cakes. So pop your oven on to 160 and I'll take you through it step by step. So first of all we're going to start with our tin. So this is my normal kind of potato roasting tin. You don't need to have a specific baking tin for this. It's recommended that you use a tin about 33 centimetres by 23 centimetres for this amount of mixture. Mine's 37 by 25, so what I'm going to do is just make it a little bit shorter using foil. So I've got some rolled up pieces here and I'm just going to shove them down the sides like that. Joys of foil when you are baking. And I've just used 2 strips folded up along the bottom, which is just going to help me to remove the shortbread at the end. And I've got a grease-proof sheet along the bottom and the sides have been greased. So let's start with the mixture. So we're going to start off with making the shortbread base. So we need 250 grams of plain flour, which I'm going to sieve into the bowl. And 75 grams of caster sugar is going to go in there as well. Just going to give those dry ingredients a little mix together. And then we're going to add 175 grams of soft baking butter. So this has been left at room temperature for quite a while, so it's going to be really nice and soft. And I'm just going to start to kind of press that together with my spatula before I get my hands in. So once it's starting to look like sort of massive breadcrumbs, that's when I'm going to get my hands in. So of course, really well washed hands. I'm just going to go in and start to knead this together. So I'm grabbing a big chunk and then just pushing it through my fingers like this. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with getting my hands messy like this, to be honest. It's good fun, but it's an absolute nightmare to wash off. Hot water and soap is the best for anything with butter in it. So I'm going to keep kneading this until it comes together as a sort of dough, as you can see here. That shouldn't take very long if your butter is nice and soft. Lovely. Just want to make sure that all the little areas of flour are really well combined and make sure you get everything up from the bowl. It's looking good. So there we have our shortbread base, really simple. 3 ingredients. Just going to try and get this all off my fingers and into the dough so we don't waste any. It kind of picks it up really well actually from your hands. Great. Now I'm going to pop this in the tin. Bring back my tin here. Plop that in the middle and then I'm just going to start to press it down with my hands. Right up to the sides and up against the foil. You want to try and get as even a spread as you can and you'll find that it will kind of group together in the centre, so you really want to push from there outwards. If you are using my DIY method with the foil, don't worry too much about having really straight sides because you can cut them off at the end. And then I've just lightly pricked the base with a fork and this is going to go in the oven for 20 minutes. And here it comes out of the oven and I'm now going to leave it to cool in the tin. So I'm now going to move on to making the caramel. So for this I'm going to need a medium saucepan and I'm just going to pop that onto a low heat. So into the pan I'm going to put 100 grams of butter or margarine. So this is the stuff that comes wrapped in foil. And I'm just going to start to melt that around the pan. With that I'm going to add in 100 grams of light soft brown sugar and then 2 397 gram cans of condensed milk. Ooh, lush. I'm going to grab my spatula and start to mix those gorgeous ingredients together. You want to break down that butter. Oops. Just making a mess. Just going to get the rest of this loveliness out. Nice. I've never been a fan of milk in a can, to be honest. But who can say no to a bit of condensed milk in a Millionaire Shortbread? Not me. That's for sure. Just going to turn it down a little bit because it's making some bubbly noises, which I don't like very much. And you want to continually stir this until you can see that it's really well combined. So we're getting rid of all of these bits here. If you find any lumps of sugar in here that you're going to find hard to break down, like that little bit there, I'm just going to get rid of it. So you just want to keep stirring this. It's really important to get your spatula or your spoon all the way around the bottom surface so it doesn't start to burn anywhere. So once this starts to boil, you're going to then turn it down onto a very low heat and just allow it to simmer gently, and you're going to keep stirring this for about 5 to 10 minutes until it starts to thicken up. So this process can be a little bit difficult if you've never worked with these kind of ingredients or this sort of method before. If you do burn this mixture the first time, because it can be really easy to do that, don't panic and it's not ruined. All you need to do is grab another saucepan, put it on a low heat, and then sieve the mixture that you've got into the other pan. So it will get rid of all the burnt bits and you'll just be left with the cream. And then you can just continue with the process and keep it on a lower heat than before, and you should hopefully be able to save it that way. So I'm just going to keep stirring until my arm gets really tired and then stir some more. Make sure that you keep it continuous. Now I'm actually following the BBC recipe for Millionaire Shortbread, and their recipe doesn't include golden syrup, but many other recipes do. So if you feel like you're getting along to about nearly 10 minutes, your arm's hurting and it's not looking as caramelly as you would like, then you can add a little bit of golden syrup at this point if you want to. Okay, so once it's looking nice and creamy and caramelly and it's started to sort of thicken up a little bit, it should look a nice light caramel colour. We are then going to add it to our tin. So just going to grab our shortbread back, and then we're going to pour this over the top. Now be very careful because this is going to be very hot still. Don't scrape across the bottom of the pan here because there might be a few little remnants of burnt bits and you don't want that. Great, so probably the best way to spread this across your pan is just to angle it like this, just to get it in all the nooks and crannies. I'm going to try and get a nice even coating as well. A little bit of a shake works well. And we're going to leave that to cool for about 10 minutes. It will cool quite quickly and it's going to create a little film on the top. And then we're going to add the chocolate layer, but first we need to melt it. So for the top layer, I'm going to melt some chocolate. I'm going to do that by putting a saucepan of water onto a low heat and allow that to boil. And then I'm going to put a Pyrex glass bowl on top and I'm going to melt my chocolate in there. So 200 grams of milk chocolate or dark chocolate or white chocolate, whatever your preference, is going to go in there until it's completely melted. You want to make sure that your glass is not touching the water underneath. And I'm just going to use my spatula to help. Now once that's nice and melted, I'm then going to take it off the heat. There we go. And that should stay in a nice melted state for a little while. So the chocolate's now nicely melted and I'm going to grab our shortbread back. Here we go. So that's nice and cool now. And what I'm going to do is just spoon on the chocolate and then spread it out nice and quickly. So you just want a nice thin layer of this. I'm going to use my spatula to help spread it first. And then I'm just going to give the tin a good shake to even it out on the top there. Side to side and front to back. And then this is going to go in the fridge until completely cool. Okay, and then once it's chilled and the chocolate is hard, I'm going to take a knife and I'm just going to push that around the edges of the tin all the way down to the bottom. Be really careful when you do this. This is just going to help to remove it. Okay, and then we'll see if it wants to lift up from the tin. I'm just going to slowly edge it out of the tin. There we go. So now you can remove your fabulous little bits of foil. Very sticky. And you should be left with a nice big slab of Millionaire Shortbread. Now to get a nice smooth cut, I've run this knife under boiling water for a little while, and that should help me cut through it. So we're going to cut this into little squares. This is really not a straight line at the end here. Just remove these extra bits, these off cuts, and you can see we've got those nice layers in there. Just gonna turn this and cut this way. And then all that's left to do is to pop them onto a serving plate, and they're ready to eat. Thanks so much for joining us again today. I hope you enjoyed the bake. Don't forget to send us a picture of your shortbreads and share it with your friends and family too, because you should definitely show off an achievement like this. And you deserve it after all that time and love you put into this bake. So join us again next week for another Bake Wellbeing tutorial.